All right, let's talk about one of the absolute best feeling shots in golf, right? That perfect controlled draw with your irons. Now, if you think you need to completely overhaul your swing to pull it off, stick around. I'm going to show you a way that is so much easier.
Look, if you've ever stood over the ball, just trying to will it to curve from right to left, and what happens? It flies dead straight, or even worse, it peels off into a slice. You are not alone, I promise you. It is one of the most common frustrations in golf.
But here is the big secret. The thing most people miss. You don't need some complex, super technical swing change. No way. The real key is so much simpler, and it all happens before you even start to take the club back.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the simple setup secret. Then I'll give you a super simple step-by-step guide to build it. We'll cover how to practice for consistency, look at a few common mistakes to avoid, and then finally get you dialed in with your brand new shot shape.
Okay, let's dive right into the heart of this thing. The magic, the real secret sauce, isn't some crazy swing move. It's all in your setup. And once you understand why this little adjustment works, mastering this shot becomes a whole lot easier.
The physics here are actually pretty simple. A draw happens when your club travels on a path that goes from the inside to the out, right? And at the same time, the club face is pointed just a little bit to the left of that path when it hits the ball. That's it. That's the whole recipe we're about to create.
So, how in the world do we get that to happen without tying our brain in knots trying to change our swing? Well, like I said, it is all in the setup. Let's walk through this together, step by step.
First things first, and this is the big one. I want you to aim your entire body, and I mean everything, your feet, your hips, your shoulders, just a little bit to the right of your final target.
And here's why this is so dang effective. By setting your body up pointing to the right, you've basically pre-programmed that inside-to-out swing path. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to force it, your body is just going to naturally swing along the line that you've already set up. Okay, next up, a small but really important tweak. Just move the ball about one ball's width further back in your stance than you normally would for an iron shot. We're not talking a huge change here, just a subtle little shift. You know, this simple move makes it even easier for the club to get to the ball from the inside. And hey, as a nice little bonus, it also really promotes that pure compressed strike and a nice penetrating ball flight, you know, the kind the pros hit. All right, now this is the step that actually puts the draw spin on the ball. When you set up, you're going to close the club face. But, and this is super important, it should still be pointing to the right of your final target, just not quite as far right as your body is aimed. See, this is the key relationship you have to understand. Your swing path is going to follow your body, so it's going out to the right. Your club face is aimed just a little to the left of that path. So the ball is going to start closer to where the face is pointing, and it's going to curve away from that path. That difference right there, that is the draw. And now, believe it or not, for the easiest part of this whole thing. Once you're all set up, just make your normal swing. Seriously. Don't try to manipulate your hands, don't try to roll your wrists over. Just swing the club right along the line that your feet and shoulders have created. Your setup has already done all the heavy lifting.
So, knowing the steps is one thing, but making them feel natural and automatic is a whole different ballgame. Let's talk about how to really burn this new setup into your muscle memory so you can trust it on the course.
Think of this as your little mental checklist every time you're at the range. Before every single shot, just run through it. Body aimed right? Yep. Ball a little back? Check. Face closed a bit to my body line? Got it. And then just let it rip. It's really that simple. And if you really want to groove this feeling, try this drill. It's awesome. Grab 2 alignment sticks. Put one down pointing right at your target. Now put the second one down parallel to where your feet will be, but aim slightly to the right. Now your only job is to set your club face to the target stick and your body to the other stick. This gives you this amazing instant visual feedback on every swing. Of course, anytime you're learning something new, you're probably going to see some funky ball flights at first. So let's quickly cover the most common mistakes so you can diagnose the problem and get right back on track. The 3 biggest culprits are, number 1, closing the club face way too much. That's going to give you a low, snappy hook. Number 2, actively trying to force the club from the inside instead of just letting your setup do the work. That usually ends up in a block or a push to the right. And finally, hanging back on your right side through impact. That just kills your contact. Just remember, trust the setup.
Okay, let's bring this all home. The single biggest thing to take away from all of this is that adding a new shot to your game doesn't have to mean some long, painful swing reconstruction project.
It really just boils down to this simple little mantra. Aim your body right, put the ball a little back, close the face slightly to your body line, and then just swing. 4 simple keys at setup that can unlock one of the most useful and satisfying shots in golf.
So there you have it. The secret to a reliable draw really is all in the setup. So the only question left is, now that you can shape the ball with confidence, what part of your game are you going to tackle next?